All right, there we go, guys. A little bit of Huey Lewis and the news there. But this is it. Yeah. So, I'm telling you, Doom has really had his claws out recently for DJ Electra. And I'm telling you, I understand why. It all started when he ended up going and putting out, is this the worst show in the Dabbleverse? Yes! And our good friend Andrea tried to do her best to kind of save it for DJ Electra. She did. You know, Andrea, I'm telling you, we are so blessed over here to have Andrea and LaTanya over at Black Label Media doing their show After Dark. I'll tell you, things get rather crazy over there. But it all kind of started from there and just kept spiraling, and DJ Electra keeps spiraling. This is a person that thinks, I'm going to come back. Every week she goes, I'm going to come back and I'm going to show the haters. I'm going to show them. And and anybody, Blind Mike, I love Blind Mike. I think he's a very talented dude. He says, he's sitting over there going, no, don't do. And she just kind of ends up face planting every single time that she goes and does this. Bobby's in the chat. Great to see you there, Bobby. He says, morning, Jip. What's happening there, big guy? So, and man, there's some people that try and insert themselves into the story, try and insert themselves into what's happening here. And please, for the love of donuts, do a little bit of research before it is that you decide to go and do a little bit of commentary on something. Why is that so hard? It's probably because we're in an era right now where people are like, let's hit live and see what happens. I'm telling you, that stuff doesn't fly. For me, it doesn't. For many others, however, you guys were mentioning earlier, Window Liquor and Jim Grindle were going to talking about a dude that we used to work with a couple of years back. That's all he does for 10 hours a day. Hit live, see what happens. I'm telling you, man, that is not what you want to do. Bobby said he's working on his studio. Oh my gosh. I'm telling you, Bobby's moving on up, just like the Jeffersons. He's doing it. He's having it. Yeah, there we go. But let's get into this. Because I'm going to be ranting enough throughout this whole thing. It's a 34-minute long clip. My gosh. Grundle Vision says, Jim Grindle is cool. Damn right he is. He has a great little morning show that he does at like 5 o'clock in the morning. I was on it once. And I'm telling you, him and Luke of the Bind do an incredible job over there. Go and check them out. I got to go and run some errands today, and I got to tell you, I'll probably be listening to it in the car. Bobby says, East Side, bro. What the heck? Bobby, did you join a gang? Bobby, don't join any gangs, buddy. Don't do that.
And I said to Doom, hey, man, you better clip this. You
ready? All right, what the hell were you guys doing to DJ Electra on Friday night?
He immediately decides to go in. He's like, I'm the interrogator here. This guy reminds me, Shmuel, you know, he reminds me of a mix between, you remember the guy from the TV show Entourage that would always end up saying that this might be something you'd be interested in? Was it Michael Landau that did that? I think it was. You know, he kind of reminds me of that. Not just because of the fact he's old, but he kind of reminds me of that guy, and he's just so out of the loop. The studios are like, we don't want to work with that dude anymore. You know? And he's kind of a mix between him. And you remember the crazy old guy that was in the TV show Wings? You know, that they ended up going and flying him around everywhere, and he, was like, I got to go see my brother, and, and gives the citizens, they go all the way over there, and they have a hard time. My brother doesn't live here. He lives in Arizona. He kind of reminds me of a mix between those two guys. Okay, so you don't need to be interrogating anybody, Shmuel. You don't need to be interrogating anybody. You are not a part of the IDF. Those guys know what the hell they're doing. You're just pretending to be one of my people. You're just pretending. Bobby says, Grandpa. Yep. I'm telling you, dude, even my grandpa was not out this much out of it, even after he got dementia and all that stuff and, sadly passed away. God bless his soul. Not the Beast says, oh my God, the Flatwood Monster and Quad. Yeah, I'm telling you, that's... And I got to say, man, I am not a fan of Quadfather, but as an objectivist, I'm sitting up there going, you know what? He did a damn good job over here. So you got to give props to him for that. Unfortunately, you won't have the Morning Ragoon to listen to today. How dare you, Jim? How dare you? We took a break for a few weeks. I need to finish a few other creative projects. New album coming soon. Doing some music. Jim. I'm going to be very upset with you, and I'll show you why. So, Jim, who's playing guitar on your album? Who's doing that? Who's playing guitar on your album, Jim? Who's doing that? Huh? Getting off subject here.
Pointing out the obvious that I guess everybody else pretty much agreed on from what I've seen. I guess you have issues with it?
I find it interesting to see people that trashing this woman for what I can find is no particular reason. I mean,
no particular reason. You want to know where the issues started to come here? 2K ended up going on with Electra, either on Uncle Jack's show or it was either Jack's show or it might have been JBX. You remember him? He was a thing, a little splash in the pan for like a minute. But anyway, 2K ended up going on there. She just happened to come on. All these people are like, send the link to whoever. And of course, the link beggar American Cupcake has to make his way up there whenever somebody's live. I don't understand. He has to beg for the link. That's his whole deal. But he goes and talks about how it is that some illegal immigrants ended up going and stealing his tax return check twice. And this was something that was going on in New York and all that stuff. I mean, it's very well known what happened. And she goes and says, 2K, you're really starting to become incredibly racist because you're being influenced by Jib. Why can't people just call me by my name, Christopher? Why do they have to call me Jib? Why is that still... But, yeah, okay. So apparently I'm a racist. Can anybody name anything racist that I've ever said on any of my shows? No. As a matter of fact, when I was the rabbi of Beit Geulah, my co-rabbi was black. My junior rabbi was black. And not only that, I used to manage a burger place that was solely owned by black individuals and basically only hired black individuals. I was only white guy there. I worked for an Indian at a convenience store for 6 years, for God's sake. Okay? So, I mean, this whole thing with me apparently being... Where the world does that come from? Where does that come from? And I had no issue with Electra until that point. Until this, and I saw a lot of the things that led up to that. What was one of the things that led up to that? Well, one of the first things that she does is whenever I used to have Discord, she messaged me on Discord and says, I want to send you a picture just so that you know who it is you're looking at. I'm like, that's a little bit weird. And she has her eyes all blacked out and then, her chest out like this. And I'm sitting over there going, at the time I was seeing somebody, I'm like, no, I'm sorry. And she took great offense to that. She's looking for that attention from men in a way that I'm telling you is, it's not good. Bobby says she asked for it. Jim is saying a dead man plays guitar on my album. Okay. Well, you got that. Eddie Van Halen? You got Eddie Van Halen. Eddie Van Halen played on your album, Jim? Is that what's going on? Was it Gary Moore? Oh my gosh. Full disclosure, I just assumed you're a racist. Guilt by what the? My gosh. Jeez. What's the matter with you people? So no, this is not any of that. It's not any of that, Shmuel. I'm telling you.
I don't have a problem critiquing somebody's work or, their performance and stuff, but.
Good. Her music sucks.
This digs deep. This was like a deep dive, and it felt like, oh, it's a woman. We can trash her. We can insult her looks. We can, all the things. And it feels to me like that's kind of common in the Dabbleverse. Like, oh, it's a woman.
That is very common in the Dabbleverse. It is. But the thing you got to realize is, first of all, you got to know who the hell it is that you're talking about. You got to know who it is that you're talking about. 2K, a lot of the people that went and messaged him about, these were individuals that were women that had issues with Electra. Several of them, okay? Several of them have messaged me about their issues with Electra. Okay, I'm not going to be naming any names, but however, that's not really a thing in 2K circuit. Now, there's some out there that will make passing jokes like, women shouldn't drive and stuff like that. I understand that. Look at what Felicia Gillespie did. I'm sorry. The girl's got the IQ of a dandelion. I'm sorry. But... Not the Beast says, meanwhile, she hangs out with Jack, who legit is a racist and has said some really effed up stuff behind the scenes. Yes. Why the hell did I make Jack my co-host for about a good 2 months? That was a mistake. Grindle says the Fraggleverse. I know he meant Faggleverse. I know he's saying Faggleverse, but I was thinking to myself, as a kid, used to love the Fraggles, so I said Fraggleverse. It's 97% of racist scumbos. Scumbos? Is that a racial term? You chalk demon, you chalk demon.
We can just fucking go after it.
So let's say, I don't know, maybe like Karmix. He goes live and he gets all drunk and says all kinds of stupid shit and acts like a idiot, flails around, plays lead guitar, acts like a total moron. And people make fun of that. I've never heard you.
I need to start playing lead guitar over here. I don't know. Am I as agile as Karmic? Hold on. No. I'm wrong side here. I don't know. No, I don't think I'm going to be playing any lead guitar.
You complain about that.
Probably a good exercise for me.
Because he's a man.
Oh.
Because.
Oh my gosh. Shmuel. Because he's a man. What is this? Is this 2017? What's going on, Shmuel?
Because it's a man, and we don't, and the things that we go after Karmic for aren't the same things that we go after like a DJ Electra for.
Explain.
Right? Like, nobody I've seen has gone after DJ Electra, Karmic calling him a whore, or that he was leading somebody on,
I've never found that Karmic has ever led anybody on. I just find that he's a horny little idiot. Okay, that's about it. And I think that's been talked about ad nauseum. The things that he ended up saying about his ex, it's like, no, dude, that stuff is off limits. You don't do that in this space, man. You keep your private life private. You do that, and you keep the thing that is that you do over here. That is something separate. Those things do not intermingle. Okay? None of the women that I've ever dated have I ever talked about the issues that I've had with them on here or the issues that they've had with me. I've never talked about that. And luckily, I haven't really had many issues with any of them, except for the 2 dates that I had the past 4 months. That's about it. But, I'm not bashing those ladies. I'm just saying they're not for me. Not for me. Grindle says, even if it's the N-word, it's not racist if you're calling it a race. The fish smell. Yeah, you don't do that. You don't do that, man.
Love bombing or whatever. I mean, it's a little fucking ridiculous.
We've never made fun of Karmic X's love life, huh?
No, we've made fun of Karmic X's love life. We've never said that Karmic X was hitting on someone and then got disappointed because that person didn't return the hit.
Actually, we've made fun of him for all of those things, and we've made fun of him for not having any sexual experience, never being in any relationships. Actually, we've pretty much gone on and on and on and on about lots of people, guys, especially.
Anybody else see the loading screen, over there with Shmuel Buckman? He's like, oh, crap. And this is at the point when you're so wrong on all of this, and it's being displayed that you are so wrong on all this. You sit there and be like, you know what? I'm taking a mulligan on this. I'm taking a mulligan. He's saying, no, dig deeper. This is not what you do. This is not what smart people do.
Their love lives and how inept or disgusting. Mersh, all we ever do is talk about that kind of stuff with this sexual relationships. Aaron Emholt being a cuck. Kevin Brennan today being a cuck, and in between his wife being a escort in between their relationship. Seems like we talk about
Kevin Brennan's wife is an escort. I don't watch MLC. I'm telling you, I'd rather put a gun in my mouth than watch MLC. That's just the reality. I'm sorry. That's like 3 hours of my life that I'll never get back. Watched it once, said never again. Never again. Just like the Holocaust. Never again. Not the Beast says, Buckman knows nothing on the stuff he speaks about. Low IQ behavior. I tend to agree. How does this dude have an audience? I don't get it.
Dudes really relationships constantly, and anytime any guy actually ever gets into a relationship, it seems to be like the only thing people talk about for the entirety of their relationship. So I would say you're absolutely
Yeah, you got to keep that stuff separate, man. You got to
completely off base
because I'm telling you, the internet will pick it apart, and they'll try and put that wedge there. And then they're like, let's see how much we can widen this wedge. That's what this thing does. There's a psychological element to all of this, because the thing that a lot of these people want is they say, I want to see this dude crash out. I'm telling you, Aaron's a moron for doing that. Karmic's a moron for doing that. That's something that I've said ad nauseum. Not the Beast says, I don't watch any Dabbleverse stuff except for the clips that get brought on other shows. Same here. The only thing that I'll really watch is I will watch, Granny and 2K, because, for some reason I gotta stop them from saying that I am their producer when they keep going and messing up the scenes that I've made for them. I'm telling you, it puts me in a bad light. It's mainly Granny, but 2K, I've been on him for a while. I got to be cropped, dude. Go and download OBS. We're going to go and teach you the virtual camera. We're going to crop you in that. And then anybody can just go and bring you up, and you don't have to be cropped, and then they don't have to use the pro scenes and all that stuff. I'm telling you, I gave that puppet that MacBook Pro a year ago. I'm telling you, he still hasn't done it. Still my best friend. But I got to tell you, man, it's one of those things that's really weighed on me. I'm sitting over there going, don't ever say that I am your producer. Don't ever do that. Stop that. Stop it.
As usual.
Yeah, totally. Totally disagree.
So,
I got like
women,
because it came across to me that your boy 2K or whatever his name is, that little green puppet, he had a
Shmuel, you met 2K at Hackamania. You know who 2K is. So don't be trying to play this whole thing that 2K or whatever his name is. You got it right the first time. You got it right the first time.
in for the broad. The broad turned down his little advances, and so he went scorched earth.
Nope. That is not what happened. As a matter of fact, I was there. I was the person that I think I might have been the only person, as a matter of fact, because I mean, everybody else in our circle was kind of scummy at that time. I was one of the very few people, if not the only one, that 2K ended up calling right before. He said, you know, I kind of have this like little crush on Electra. I'm just going to go and tell her to go and clear the air. That's what 2K told me. And he ended up doing that and all that stuff. And he goes, yeah, we went and we laughed about it, talked for about a good 2 hours afterwards and all that stuff. And yeah, you know, he didn't go scorched earth. They were friends for a little while until she decided to go and call him a racist for no reason. Okay? Because of the fact that, yes, illegal immigrants stole his tax return check. And he didn't say anything for 2 years. The only thing that he ended up saying was right after she goes and starts link begging on This All Sucks, and she comes in there and makes a total and complete idiot out of herself. And 2K has not gone scorched earth. The only time that I've seen him go scorched earth was last night when he was covering this clip. Okay, so, I mean, don't... If you don't know what the hell you're talking about, don't say anything.
It seems very incelish sort of pushiest to me.
So, are you going to read?
Wait a minute. Incelish? Do you realize that 2K's handler, Nimrod, dates strippers? You realize this, right? He doesn't need some drugged up chick over in California. Okay, so I mean, settle down, Shmuel. Settle down. Take your medicine. Go and take your sleeping pill.
Read that.
Sup bros, Ron Fuddle for $2. We talking karmic? I can't hear you.
So people that want to go on streams and they want to get drunk and make asses out of themselves, we can't comment on them because they're women.
No one's saying we can't. No, I'm not saying we can't comment. You can comment on drunken behavior. You can comment on drunken behavior all the time. But when do you start calling people whores and
when they're whores
and shit all over?
Okay, one of the first messages again that Electra ever sent me was her prominently displaying her chest. Didn't really know me from Adam, and that is what it was. This is a woman that as well said, you know, they asked her. She said it on her show. Or not on her show, on somebody else's show. Was it on Ava's show? I don't remember. It was one of the 3 places that she's been the past 3 weeks, okay? And they said, you know, did you send any nudes to any dabblers? Oh, yeah. So, I'm sorry. That right there says to me, whore. Okay? Whore. Say it with me, Shmuel. Whore.
So who did she whore with that you're aware of?
She's the one that was talking about all that kind of stuff, her past, etc. So
yeah.
So she's right. So she's talked about her past. So then
her past being the past couple of years. Collectively, all of those years, okay? This is ongoing behavior. Did you not see the other day where she was trying to go and link up with those guys that were on the show with Jack? Or Jack was on their show. She was trying to hook up with all of them. Did you not see this? The whorish behavior is continuing, sir.
Okay, so you have no problem then using that as an attack, right?
Everybody uses all of that stuff as an attack.
They don't use it, Quad. They don't use all of it, and you know that they don't use all of it.
Made fun of your 3-way.
When it's relevant, it's not an attack, really. It's just going and giving the facts. That's it. That's all it is.
Talk or any of your chaperoning or your weird comments, obviously redacted weird comments, but yeah, it's still a source of a lot of
and right. But I made those comments, but I haven't I haven't gotten hot for a VTuber. I haven't gotten hot for a VTuber thinking I'm going to, bang her. And then when she turns me down, then I'm going to start calling her ugly and that stuff.
That's not what happened. That's not what happened, Schmill. I'm telling you, has Schmill gotten anything right on this whole thing? My God, for the love of donuts, people, go and know what you're talking about before you open your yap. Please.
It just came across to me as a bunch of jealous guys, because any one of those fucking guys would happily date Electra.
No, people make fun of your.
Nope, I got standards, man. Got standards. Let me tell you, drugs. First of all, I don't do drugs. Don't do the drugs. I will never, ever in my life date a druggie. I've been sober for 25 years. Not happening. Somebody who's an alcoholic, which she also is, not going to do that. Also, not going to jump in bed with somebody who's a whore. Okay, I'm not going to do that because I don't want to be sitting over there going, you know what? I probably needed to go and have, an STD test. I don't want to go through any of that. And let's be honest. At this age, 45, I'm telling you, that time in my life is far over with. Way over with. So I'm telling you, no.
Your appearance all the time too, same kind of thing. So yeah, if you go on streams, you make an ass out of yourself, or your appearance is in play, any of your behavior is in play, any of the comments you make about your past is in play, it is the same as it is for guys. So yeah, just because she's a lady absolutely doesn't change anything. If she wants to get drunk and go on streams and make an ass out of herself, she's welcome to, and we're welcome to comment on it and make fun of her. And a pile-on, yeah, we do a show with a bunch of guys talking about whatever we're reviewing. We happen to be reviewing her because she was right in the middle of the news. That's on her, not me. That's 100%. Any lady that wants to step into the Dabbleverse and tell us all about their sex life, guess what? It's going to be commented on. Hi, Scarlett. Hi, Ice Dancer. Hi, any other lady that wants to talk about their love life. I don't hear people talking about Lucy Tightbox's love life because she doesn't bring it up.
I've heard people make insinuations about Lucy Tightbox's love life.
No, I have heard some insinuations. And the thing is that, Lucy is a very pretty lady. She really is. And she's made some comments in the past that have a little bit of a sexual tinge to them. And, when you have a lot of these people that live their life on the internet, that, of course, they're going to come up with some stuff to kind of further the story, to kind of keep these things constantly talked about. So that's happened. But the thing is that you notice that it doesn't happen with Lucy anywhere near as much as it does with Electra. And the reason being is because there is a reality. There is an element of truth in a lot of these things based upon the things that she has said previously. And that's the reason why they're being talked about.
Haven't you?
But they don't
haven't
have
you?
Factual
and
information.
I've gone back after them.
Yeah, but they don't have factual information. They have made up shit. Like this lady talked about her stuff. It's fair game then.
Yep. Uh-oh. The loading screen. There it is.
Still, Quad, I got it. I understand what you're saying. So there is no line, and there is no calling out 2K for his behavior, right? He's going to go on some sort of vindication tour, right? Just another one of these guys. I mean, how many times
he hasn't gone on a vindication tour? What he's done is he's responded to the things that were incorrect, the things that were said about him by Electra and others, and saying, you guys don't know what the hell you're talking about. Here's the reality. He's been remarkably consistent, unlike yourself and several others. Okay? Unlike Electra. who we saw lying in real time and changing her story, for God's sake. So, Shmuel, please, again, know what it is you're talking about before it is you open your yap.
Many times we heard stories about these guys falling in love with somebody on the radio or the internet, and then, they think there's a relationship, and then there's not a relationship, and then they get all hurt.
Yeah, those are psychopaths. 2K, I'm telling you, the guy works for the post office. He's anything but a psychopath. He is nowhere close to being any of those people. One of the best people I know, as a matter of fact. So,
right? Because that's what's going on here.
Was never proven. You say that, but you have no proof of that.
And you have no proof of a lot of the stuff that you guys were saying about DJ Electra. And then you're judging her like, she's not cool. She's just trying to be cool. I grew up in a neighborhood with black kids. I had to be bussed. She doesn't know what she's talking about. I mean, it's a little ridiculous.
You realize that she ended up saying she went to 5 funerals in Compton, right? So, I mean, that's not even an argument, Shmuel. Not even an argument. Guys, we're going to go to a break. And when we come back, we're going to wrap this up. I'm telling you, we're not even a third of the way through this. I don't know if we're going to be able to make it all the way through it, in all honesty. But when we come back, we're going to be going through that. And also, we're going to be playing the video that she took down last night. Yeah, that... I'm telling you, let's see here. What shall we play over here? What shall we play? You know what? How about some Fine Young Cannibals? We're going to play a little bit of Fine Young Cannibals for you guys here. Because I'm telling you, this lady and her drama, she's freaking driving me nuts. We'll be right back here in just a moment on Morning Mayhem, right here on Black Label Media and on Rumble. We'll be right back. All right, there we go, guys. A little bit of Fine Young Cannibals for you there, where she drives me crazy. And I'm telling you, after seeing that music video, I'm sitting over there going, the voice doesn't match the look. It doesn't. I had no clue. But I got to ask, you call yourself the Fine Young Cannibals? Are these guys in jail now? I don't know. I mean, well, you had, during the 80s, it's one of those times, man. Even in the 90s, I had a Nirvana CD and I had the song Rape Me on it, and my parents were like, nope, we're taking this CD and we're throwing it out because of that. Now what about the kids? They had a nice pop song right there. I mean, the kids ended up having their Fine Young Cannibals CD confiscated by their parents. I mean, or cassette tape, their LP, their 45.
Well, you were talking, I don't even remember exactly what Spurgsnake was saying, and I really don't actually care, but I could speak to my commentary. Mostly, the only thing we were commenting on for the most part is her behavior and her own words. So if she doesn't like what people are talking about, when she tells us...
What was that? Did you see that look from Shmuel there? Did you see that look? What? You did what?
Everything about herself, then maybe she should keep some of that stuff closer and stop getting drunk, because apparently
this seems you're not convincing me that this isn't that she isn't sort of the victim of some targeted trolling campaign, but
targeted trolling campaign seriously Who's initiated this? That's what I want to know.
Yeah.
Is it Big Dabble? Is that what it is?
Yeah. She goes on live streams and talks about her personal life.
So, okay. All right. I find it funny. I guess what I'm really trying to say is I find funny the panel that's judging her are not a panel that could stand up to the same criticisms.
Dude, you realize, right, that I've been doxxed? Doesn't really matter, because I have like no criminal record or anything of the sort. I mean, it's one of those things that's like, even the people who don't like me say, you know what, at least Christopher is a nice guy. And that's the thing they always say about me. People that don't even like me at least admit that. And the thing is, 2K has gotten a ton of criticisms. You realize that whenever he goes and somebody sees him for the first time, they're like, oh, look at that. It's Timu Tuki. So come on. Seriously, I've been under a microscope for many years. Let me tell you something, Shmuel. I was on 7 different radio stations at the same time. Okay? Let me tell you something. I was getting hit left and right. Do you realize how many anti-Semitic private messages I get each and every single day on my social media handles? So don't give me this crap. Don't give me this crap. 2K has been through the ringer as well. You want to talk about Granny? Granny went and put his ding-a-ling in a dude. Okay? He's been getting a lot of crap for that. In the whole gay for pay thing. And you guys didn't even get that stuff right. You guys didn't even get that stuff right. Not the Beast says, Buckman probably thinks he will earn him nudes from Electra. Talk about desperate. Now, I don't know if that's what Buckman's thinking, but if that's the case, he's trying to get into the good graces. Okay, I've seen people do this. They lose all objectivism and want to get in the good graces, but also there is a thing that is very popular on the internet by simply being a contrarian. That's where you have a lot of these conspiracy theory nut jobs come around. It's because go and look at Candace Owens, Erica Kirk, TPUSA, all of them had Charlie Kirk killed. It was Israel. It was Mormon bees. It was the FBI. It was the CIA. It was Donald Trump himself that ordered the hit. What the fuck? Candace was making $6 million a month off of that stuff. $6 million. Why? Because there is a market out there for simply being a contrarian. And maybe that's what Shmuel's doing here. Maybe it is indeed that he's hoping to get into the good graces. I don't know. I'm not in his mind. I don't know what the hell he's thinking. But, there's a lot of reasons why this could be. But either way, he's wrong. He's wrong. He belongs in bingo halls, not streaming. Go yell at the clouds, Boomer. Get the hell off my yard there, not the bees. I'm actually starting to get to that point in my life now where I'm like, these damn kids need to get the hell off my yard. I'm actually getting there. I'm always complaining about people that don't know how to drive, and yet I go and look and look at that. My blinker's on. Yeah. So, I get it, man. I understand being old and being a little cranky. I get it, man. These kids today with their hula hoops and their Pac-Man video games and their Dan Fogelberg music, I just don't understand them. I really don't.
Such as examples?
Not a bit 2K for sure.
Oh, so
right.
For sure. I'm sure, monsieur.
That's kind of my big one.
So what DMs they've had? You've for a fact. Well,
by the way, did you know Shmuel was supposed to be on Trucker Andy's poker stream last night with 2K? Notice that he does not have the cojones to go on there and confront 2K on Trucker Andy's show. Have you noticed that? That's interesting. They had to bring in Granny. And I got to say, I think Granny did a much better job than Shmuel ever could on that show. And if you are so sure of this, then you should have no issue going up on a panel with him. No issue whatsoever. But you chickened out. Shmuel.
What was said between the two of them?
No, I don't know what was said, but I don't know. But I know that what he's saying is not a fact. So it just comes across as sort of incel.
What part of any of it? Even the smallest little thing. Which one is not a fact, Shmuel? Just go and cite one thing. One thing. This is something that we do. Is we go and we give, any type of claim that is made. You got to get the primary and secondary citation. Stay away from the tertiary. So just go and cite something now. Just one thing, Schmiel. One thing.
Belly behavior.
You know how dumb you sound right there? You don't know
how
what
dumb
was
do you
said.
guys sound? I got this odd looking man who simps for granny, and he's going to talk shit about some other woman?
Simping for granny. Is his microphone pink? Oh, I got a hot pink guitar over there, so, I mean. I just now noticed, is his microphone pink? Why have I not noticed that before? That was something that I would have made fun of a lot before. But simping for granny? You realize that they're friends, right? They've been friends for a while. Granny asked 2K to go and do This All Sucks with him. Do you understand what that word means? Simping. Do you understand what that means? You're just saying words. You got diarrhea of the mouth, Schmiel. You got diarrhea of the mouth.
You don't know what was said.
This guy talks shit. This guy talks shit about her. He admitted her words were, she said that he used to listen to her. He developed feelings for her. She turned down those feelings. He got hurt. That's what.
Okay, you got. Yeah, there was like, again, the feelings were a slight crush. Yes, he used to listen to her show. She had a little show that she had that was, some guy set up this whole thing on Vozcast. Now, what Vozcast is, I'm going to pull behind the curtain here. You know, she always says, it was on iHeartRadio. Yeah, the thing is that whenever it is that you have an internet radio station, you can send it out to all of these things like TuneIn Radio, iHeartRadio, all that stuff. It's not like the 1990s or early 2000s iHeartRadio where it is that, you know, you're a part of a radio station that is a part of a network that was signed on and you get advertising revenue and all that stuff from iHeartRadio. That's not what happens. It's not the same thing. It's like a thing that you opt in. It's almost like going and sending your podcast to Apple Podcasts, YouTube, all that stuff. That's what iHeartRadio's become. But see, a lot of people don't realize that, and they say, well, you know, she had a show on iHeartRadio. No, what it is that you go and you get an account for $7 a month on Vozcast and, you know, broadcast at 64 kilobytes per second, which is dog crap audio. You go and you do that, and you can send it to iHeartRadio. You can send it to TuneIn Radio. You can send it to all of these different places by just going and submitting it. And the approval process is like, is there a stream that's actually happening here? Yes. Okay, you're in. You know, that's all that it is. That's all that it is. But she did this whole thing where she was playing just god-awful music. Why is it that drug addicts always listen to god-awful music and they think that they know more about music than the rest of us? I don't get this. It is always this weird stuff that kind of puts you in a psychedelic state and you're like, why the hell would anybody produce this? No, this person has sold over a dozen records. Can you believe that? I mean, it's like, you know, it's like NPR. It's like they're like, let's go take NPR, which is dog crap music anyway, but let's make it really weird. That's what she was doing over there. And she would ask all of us to go and check out her radio show. It wasn't even a radio show, really. I guess you could technically call it that because it was internet radio. Okay. But it was dog crap. She asked 2K to go and listen to it. She asked me to go and listen to it. She asked Hackride to go and listen to it. She would send it out in a massive group chat all the time. Check out my radio show tonight. And a lot of times, whenever I would go and listen, and I could only listen for a couple minutes because it was just god awful, there would be like 2 people. It would say, right now, listening, 3 people. You know, it's like, that's it. It's like, no. It was not something that could ever generate an audience. She can't generate an audience today unless she's doing this type of stuff, and it's not the audience that she wants.
It's what she said. Those are her words. He repeated them. So what facts do you want me to have? You want me to go back and get the tapes?
What tapes?
I don't know. Tapes of
I don't know.
them actually saying it, you know, verification. I'm not allowed to make assumptions based upon what people say, but
you know what assumptions do. You guys know the phrase, right? Makes an ass out of you and me both. Don't assume Don't assume. Go with the facts, buddy. Go with the facts.
You guys are fine with it?
Oh, the only thing I know is what she said on live streams. That's the only thing I've gone with. I never backed up anything Tukey said and said, yeah, you're right, man. Tukey, you're correct. Everything you're saying is true. I'm like, yeah, whatever. I let him say what he had to say. She's not coming on my podcast to refute those allegations or whatever he had to say. So I'm getting a one-sided story because I'm only getting one of the people on the show. And basically, Uncle Jack kind of backed up pretty much the same kind of story that 2K is saying, that she's maybe she's an easy target, but she gets drunk and she's dumb, and that's her problem. I don't feel bad for people to get drunk, dumb, and go on.
Yeah, look, they can get drunk and dumb. I'm very surprised that there's no pushback on any of this stuff.
You want to know why there's not pushback? Is because everybody knows that what 2K and everybody else is saying is true. They've experienced it. They've been here. Where the hell have you been, sir? Where the hell have you been? Were you in this inner circle? We never saw you there at that time. So there would have to be contradicting evidence for there to be any sort of pushback. So this is the hill you want to die on, really? This one is the hill you want to die on.
Like you.
I'm not talking about Save-A-Ho. I'm talking about, look, if you want to come on and you want to trash somebody and that's cool. I know if it were me, I'd get, well, what about Julie or what about Melton? I get that all the time. But, you get these guys on and they talk shit about someone and you don't ever say, hey, this is what she said. She said you wanted her. She wouldn't give it to you. So now you're out here, venting like a wounded boy. So is that, you don't do that? Like, that's not going to happen. You just let that out. So the point of the show is then to just have fun trashing somebody. That's what it is.
No, it's responding to the things that she's saying towards said person. That's what he's doing. Again, please, know a little bit about what you're talking about before you have diarrhea of the mouth.
Yeah, that's what a lot of the shows are. Welcome to the Dabbleverse. Did you just get here today? Hello, Schmiel.
Right, but you tell me, and everybody tells me they want to do something different, but it's the same shit. It's like, all right, let's just go on and let's trash people. Let's go on and let's trash people.
Since I've been here, I've been having fun and talking shit, making fun of people. I've been doing the same shit since day one. I'm still doing it. No, what are you talking about? You're not even making sense right now. What are you blabbering about?
All right, so Tio Hank, I'm a boomer, but I think this is white knighting. I don't give a fuck about DJ Electra, to be perfectly honest with you.
It is white knighting. This right here is the definition of white knighting, Schmoll. This is the definition right there. What you're doing right now, they could go, if they ever decide to do a digitized version of Webster's Dictionary with video examples, they'll be like, here's a prime example of white knighting.
I just am sitting there and I'm like going, well, we just trash, but there's no what do you call it? There's no pushback on any of this stuff.
Well, right? I didn't see you.
Again, there has to be contradictory evidence in order for there to be pushback. What does this say? This says there is not any contradictory evidence. Uh-oh.
Amo as an expert on women? I mean, come on.
Were you in the same place for all these other ladies? Like, you never made fun of any of the other ladies?
No, I'm not saying I haven't made fun of people and I haven't made fun of their stuff. That's not what I'm saying. What I'm saying is that you guys, you particular guys, I'm willing to take pushback. You guys, there was no pushback on this. This was all...
Schmoll, you refused to go on the poker show last night that 2K was on. You're willing to take pushback? How come you didn't last night, buddy? What's going on there? What's happened? You explain this to me, please?
let's just shit all over somebody. Let's just trash somebody. Let's not go into why somebody might be trashing them, that they might be a little butthurt, right? Like, okay.
Well, you should have showed up and white knighted for her, because
I'm not white knighting for anybody, Quad. You're just, it's like, oh, let's just do a trash stream. Let's just do a trash stream.
This is the definition of white knighting.
It's I don't know. I can't. Maybe it's great for you. It just seems like it's kind of getting old.
Like what?
Wait a minute. This guy is saying that something else is getting kind of old. He just put the hat on, for God's sake. Why? Because SPF 100 is not enough for that bald head of his. So he's the last person that should be talking about anything getting old.
What else can you say? It's fun to mock people that make asses out of themselves. Isn't there a few?
He's got the yellow tinted glasses, for God's sake. You don't get to call anything getting old when you have yellow tinted glasses, sir.
Few shows that do that to you?
I'm sure that they do. I'm sure that they do. And I know, but that's not the point. That's not the point, Quad. People can make fun of me all they want. I don't really give a shit. Knock yourselves out.
Like you give a
right?
Shit.
What? No, it's like, you guys, it's just 5 guys or whatever it is. You couldn't get a woman on the panel. It's like 5 guys sitting around knocking around a woman. It's I don't know, man. It feels like a little incelish or something to me. Like, who are these guys to be judging somebody else, right? And
who's anybody?
You want to call it like no, but you want to call it horror behavior. What do you got? You got your boy Tukey simping for a gay guy who claims he's not, right? Living in a shed. Jackson,
he's not in a shed anymore. He's not in a shed anymore. Okay, let's at least get this right. I'm telling you, Schmoll is starting to come out like he thinks he's the Terminator. But he's actually Swift-Heart Bear from the Care Bears, okay? He's actually that. And he thinks he's the Terminator right now. It's not working for you there, buddy. It's not.
That's insane. I love Jack, but Jack is insane, right?
Jack's a piece of shit.
What's like Spurg? Does Spurg have women? Does Spurg have a relationship with?
Spurg's a nice guy. Leave him alone.
With women? It just comes off. I'm not white knighting for anybody here, man. I'm just saying that what happens is when these shows start going after women, which is your right, I guess you can do that. It's always the people that are going after them. Many times I've met them, and I'm like, dude, have you ever touched a woman?
Do you?
You know, from what I understand, 2K was at Hackamania with the woman, by the way. So there's that. There's that. And again, as I said before, this is a guy that dates strippers. So, I mean, I'm telling you, it goes to show you that personality is way above looks. I got to tell you, it really is. That's why it is that I like to think that I have a pretty damn good personality. But I mean, hey.
Do you think I would have had any different commentary, whether 2K or Uncle Jack was there watching that video with us? I would have said all of the exact same things, except for they had.
Why is his eyes darting back and forth? You see this? What's going on? You seeing ghosts or something there, Schmill? What's happening? Is your medicine doing this to you? What's going on?
Some context to add to it. Isn't that weird to have somebody on that could add context to a conversation?
Well, it didn't really have context, right? If you didn't ask, but you didn't ask questions. You just let them spew what they said was context. But there never came up a question with Tukey. Hey, man.
Well, if you're going to spew into this.
Weren't you hot for this broad and she turned you down and that's what made you so mad? $2 from...
He makes it sound like 2K had an obsession with DJ Electra. No, it was a crush that I didn't even know was really there until he said, yeah, I got a little crush on her. The day before he talked to her when he ended up talking to me. So, I mean, It's not like this big thing like he was, hanging outside of her window like some sort of freakazoid. It was none of that type of stuff.
From Echo Pineapple, or 2 pounds. Thanks for being a good sport, Buckman.
So
go to hell, Eckel.
So I didn't ask the one question you really wanted asked, and that's the problem you have with it. That's good.
I think it's a question that goes. I think it's a question that goes to character. So if he's so willing to judge other people's character, right? Aren't you entitled to ask him that question?
You going to talk about character? 2K is one of the best people I know. Oh, well.
Yeah, I was just asking backstory stuff, and he claims he was pretty much in the good. He said he might have got a little too far and got creepy and tried to get in her pants or whatever. But do you blame any guy for trying?
Oh, yeah. In terms of Jack, that's what Jack does. Again, Jack is a piece of crap, and that is not something that, he thinks that absolves him of being a piece of crap. It's like, no, you stop being a piece of crap. That's how you fix this. Stop being a piece of crap, Jack. And this is why it is that I can't do shows with Jack anymore.
Trying to get into a lady's pants that were single, you kind of already intimated that people should be trying to bang her anyway. You said
I don't have a problem with anybody trying to get into anybody's pants, but when you're turned down, going full bitch made is not really the response that most men make.
I don't know that he went full bitch made. She made comments, and then he responded to said comments. So,
right, okay.
Who drew first blood, huh?
Okay, all right. Well, he talked. The whole thing started because he talked shit. He said shit about her. As far as I remember, maybe I'm wrong.
You are wrong. You are wrong. I mean, even a broken clock is right 2 times a day. You haven't been right once, Schmo. Not once. This is not good.
Right?
Probably.
But Johnny Chopsticks. Never heard of Electra before 2 weeks ago.
Nobody has.
Nor did I, and it seemed a little suspicious.
Then why do you come on like you're some sort of expert when you said neither did I? Why not those who were there? Why can't they be experts, but you think you are? How does that work? Exactly.
Just to me.
It's like going to medical school, your first day in there, and then saying you're a doctor. That's not the way it works.
That, this chick shows up on the scene, and all of a sudden it's like, wait. We've got to go after her. We've got our order.
For 4 years. She didn't just show up.
Oh, so you think there's orders were put out to go after DJ Electra. So she didn't just come out and make a total ass out of herself. She did a stream by herself. She went live by herself and made an ass out of herself. And then she went on 2 or 3 subsequent streams after that to make more of an ass out of herself and keep proving why.
It's all because of Big Dabble and Shadow Dabble. That's what's going on here. We got the Shadow Dabble and Big Dabble coming after DJ Electra.
She is an ass. So I think you're pretty much trying to say that Doomspayer made her look like an asshole, right?
No, I'm saying that you said that Doom, I was like, your thing is that not Doomspayer, but that, there were people behind the scenes setting up, who to go after. Connor.
No, and I'm sorry. First of all, it's interesting. A lot of people think that the Clippers have some sort of hidden motive. Now, I got to say that it is very possible. It seems to me that Doom does have major issue with DJ Electra. But let's look at the facts here. Doom is presenting DJ Electra's own words. Her own words. Just going and clipping those things that says, whoa, this is something. And this is something that I've been adamant about for a very long time. When it comes to the Clippers, okay, we need to be hat tipping as creators to those Clippers. You want to know why? Not only do they help bring an audience to people's shows, but also I think every single one of us wants to get better in our craft. I think every single one of us wants to make our show better and all this stuff. Sometimes, in order to do that, we need to have it pointed out to us where it is that we don't do such a good of a job. Doom ended up going and clipping me a while back over this whole Electra thing, and people took major issue with my cadence. I've tried to change that. You have to do this a little bit differently than you do on radio. It's much more fast paced, and you kind of have to go that route. That was brought to my attention by so many people in the comments saying, I can't listen to this guy. He's talking so slow. And so it's like, okay, do the show, go and get some coffee in me and get that cadence up and going a little bit faster than it used to be. And that's what I've done. That is something that I think has made me better into the YouTube space and the Rumble space and all this stuff. As opposed to, again, it's different in radio than it is here. Okay. So that's something that I had to learn. And I have to say, the Clippers do an amazing thing of making sure that every single one of us end up getting the stuff that's important from these 3, 4, 5 hour long shows and just condensing it down for us, saying, here, this is what it is that you need to know. This is the big thing that ended up happening over here. And then at the same time, the creator themselves is getting the correction that we need to make ourselves better. So we need to be, every single one of us needs to be hat tipping those Clippers. As soon as you go after the Clippers for what it is that they do, providing you a service in 2 different ways, as soon as you go after them, you have shown that you have a little bit of narcissism within that of your own id. Okay? So, I mean, these are things that you have to look at in terms of this. I don't trust anybody that goes after the Clippers at all.
Connor 1234, thank you for the $5. Buckman is doing this whole performance for picks. Thank you, Connor. You're probably right.
Okay, so lately I've been saying the Doomspayer has been pushing who needs to be covered, and Carl has been covering comedy shop.
Let me tell you something. Doomspayer, Doom, is what they're going to cover where it is that they think they're going to get the most hits. I can't believe you just said that. No, that's what you do in this realm. I got to tell you something. Whenever we had a roll channel before we ended up getting porn bombed and all that stuff, Rock Talk Live, certain segments of it went really well. I had a guy on the inside of the Guns N' Roses camp. We would go and give a lot of Guns N' Roses exclusive news. Okay? Those things hit really big. Thousands upon thousands of views. We ended up getting up to 9,000 subscribers. And, you know, when the whole thing was happening from the lead singer of As I Lay Dying, my old band Echelon played on the same festival. I go and I gave this little bit of commentary of what happened over at the Cornerstone Festival that year with him backstage going and throwing over tables and all that stuff. Massive amount of views. And so it's like, okay, you kind of learn from the algorithm where it is to go. The thing is that if you want to have a successful show, you got to do that. Hate to tell you, but also don't lose yourself. Don't lose your own identity. Don't lose your own interest. At the same time, sprinkle that stuff in there, clip that stuff, and, you know, go that route. But also, don't turn yourself into something you don't want to be at the same time. Don't cover things you don't want to cover. Be you. Be authentic.
I never said a word about DJ Electra. I said, I don't know where all of a sudden everybody started talking about Comedy Shaman, except for Doomspayer decided to send a few clips to Carl.
Yeah, Comedy Shaman's that thing is something else. That thing is something else. We're gonna end with that clip there, but we're gonna come back with another segment. And we're going to play you guys the video that DJ Electra took down. That's what we're going to do. We're going to go and play that. She had put up a video yesterday. I knew she was going to take it down because, again, Shmuel, I know how this woman works. I had been around her for years. I know her order of operation. Okay, and so I got that clip. I downloaded it, all that stuff. We're going to play it over here. And I'm telling you, after seeing this, I feel much better about myself as a musician. After seeing her little rap song that she ended up taken down yesterday. It was only up for a couple hours. But, yeah, and I want to thank, who was it? It was Haley that ended up sending me that from Pretty Antisocial. Thank you so much for sending me that, Haley, because immediately I knew it was going to happen. I had to download it. Anybody wants to download, message me. I will send it to you so that it's not, she kind of likes to scrub the evidence of a lot of this. But here we go, guys. A little bit of Daryl Hall and a Hall & Oates here with one of my favorite songs from that era. I remember this song was constantly played on the radio all the time when I was a kid, and it's kind of been forgotten about. So here's Daryl Hall and John Oates with Kiss on My List right here on Morning Mayhem. We'll be right back with the DJ Electra music video here in just a moment. We'll be right back. There we go, guys. A little bit of Hall & Oates with Your Kiss is on My List. Now, you know what? I just had an idea. We need to do a little compare and contrast over here. Do I even have this uploaded? Oh, no, I don't. No, I do not. Damn it. I was about to say. Could have compared my music with Electra's. Because now, first of all, Electra credits herself as a producer, musician, all this stuff. Now, I do not call myself a musician. Why? Because I'm not that good. Okay? I play guitar to have fun. I don't play in any bands or anything of the sort. It's like some people have drugs. I buy guitar equipment. That's what it is that I do. At one point, I had 20 guitars. I've narrowed it down to 6 or 7. No, I got 7. Let's see. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Yeah, I got 7. I got 7 guitars. Each of them have a different function and all that stuff. And I, sit in my studio, record some stuff, and release it. That's what it is I do. I have fun. I love going and chasing tone and all that stuff. And, it's one of those things that whenever it is I'm writing a new song, I go and pull up. This is how bad I am. I go and pull up Scale Finder on my phone. And it's like, okay, I'm in this key. What notes can I play here? How far can I bend this one? That's what it is that I do. But this is somebody that credits themselves as a musician and who is constantly saying, I'm trying to promote these other musicians that are underlings of mine. And it's like, oh God help these people. Okay. So she ended up going and putting up a song last night, ended up taking it down a couple hours later. I knew she was going to do this. We downloaded it. And here we go. Oh my God. It's already bad. Do you have this over here? I never have had respect for individuals that, in their profile pictures, they're, flipping the bird and all that stuff. And it's like any picture, they're like, we need to flip the bird, and all that stuff. This is the wheelhouse that she's in. By the way, DJ Electra is telling some people that she's going to sue me, by the way. Have at it. It's fine.
You're ever having a bad day? Just remember that I feel like this most every day.
Yeah, that's a you problem. That is a you problem. I'm telling you, my dad told me this when I was like 16 years old at one point. I was complaining about some of my friends, and all this stuff. Oh, I can't believe that so-and-so did this. And my dad looked at me and he said, you know what, Christopher? Maybe everybody else is not the problem. Electra, this is something that could really help you. If you realize that maybe not everybody else is the problem, and this is not the way that you'll go through life. Once you realize that.
Fuck everyone, fuck everybody. Everybody fucking sucks. Fuck everyone, fuck everybody. Everybody fucking sucks.
This is how you're trying to get people on your side. This right here sounds like a song that somebody had written when they were 9 years old. She took the time. You know, at some point, you think that she would have sobered up and said, oh, this really sucks. This really sucks. You think at some point she would say, you know what, but no, she ended up going and producing this and then putting out a music video looking for every picture she could find of people with middle fingers, you know, into the camera and going and saying, yeah, I'm going to take the time to edit this, and I am confident in going and releasing this as though it's some sort of work of art. Not the Bees says, Electra needs to sign that NTB Records. Not the Bees Records? You got your own record company there, buddy? We'll put on a good instrumental, change the vocal, up some autotune, and redo the lyrics. It'll be a big summer hit for 2027. Laughing my took us off. Yep. I'm telling if anybody can do it, it's the Bees, man. The Bees can do it. The Bees Knees. That's what you need to call your record label. The Bees Knees. Yeah. He says, anyway, I'm off to work. Have a wonderful day. Yeah, didn't you say you were off to work earlier?
I'll say fuck you, don't let the door hit you on the way out.
Usually these things, you know, there's amount of syllables. Has she never written a song before? Because this thing doesn't flow with the it's not rhyming. There's no syllable flow, nothing like that. What's going on here? Seriously, you put this out. I mean, let's go and play those two lines again. I mean, seriously.
I'll say fuck you, don't let the door hit you on the way out. Don't talk to me, don't look at me, don't fuck with me, or I'll put you in the ground.
You put us in the ground. That could be seen as somewhat threatening, don't you think? That could be seen as threatening. I don't know. Threatening and harassment. Electra, didn't that get Karmic X channel taken down?
Fuck everyone, fuck everybody.
No. Doom's awesome.
Everybody fucking sucks. Fuck everyone, fuck everybody. Everybody fucking sucks.
Diodario. It's so funny that she goes and puts the Diodario thing up here. You want to know why that's funny? For those who are not in the guitar world, you guys don't know about this, okay? So, you know, you're getting this as an exclusive over here. Diodario ended up and Diodario makes amazing strings. I tend to get them over Ernie Ball any day of the week because they last more. They have a little bit more brightness to their sound and all that stuff. With Diodario, they ended up putting out an ad for a new set of strings that they have out that I think are for like 8-string guitars or something like that. And what they ended up doing is they had somebody miming the playing, and it was an AI song made on Suno that they put into the ad. Okay? So that's what's going on with Diodario. That's what's going on with them. Okay, now think about this. We use a little bit of AI, you know, for the things that I produce for other people. We don't do an overflow of AI, but everything that she does has to be based in AI. Everything, like her entire show of anything that she does by herself or with Hackwright, it's like, we need more AI. You know, I mean, that's what it is that they do. And so it's funny that she goes and puts up a thing that says Diodario are effed, but yet she does the same thing that Diodario does. The exact same thing. Tiffany says, yes. Hubby, I just got this out of his mind. I'm playing this. Oh, no.
Suck my butt, kiss my ass, eat shit and die. Suck my butt.
Seriously, that's how you go after Haley, by trying to say that she's fat? Seriously, I think that if you're in some sort of intellectual argument, you don't go based upon an over-exaggeration. I mean, honestly, Haley's a very pretty lady. She really is. But this is the route that you're going here. This is the hill you're going to die on. You know, I mean, come on. Your buddy Shmuel Buckman was saying believe all women earlier.
But kiss my ass, suck a bag of dicks and die.
Suck a bag of dicks and die.
Fuck everyone, fuck everybody. Everybody fucking sucks. Fuck everyone, fuck everybody. Everybody fucking sucks. Yeah, bitches, you fucking suck. Suck a bag of dicks and die. Waste of time. Fuck every...
Waste of time, but she ended up going and spending several hours putting this video together. Does she not realize the word? Somebody get her a dictionary.
Wanna fuck everybody. Everybody fucking sucks. Sucks.
Was that Tank Girl? Was that Tank Girl? You guys remember that movie from the 90s, Tank Girl? Holy hell. You know what? Here's what I'm going to do. Here's what I'm going to do. Ah, wrong scene. There we go. Nope, not that one. Bob Saget. There we go. There we go. We do things professional over here. You know what we're going to... I'm going to do this. Rumble.com. Upload video. Oh, Electra, I'm sorry. We're not going to let this go away. We're going to upload this video over there. Song DJ Electra took... Hold on, let's move this mic. Took down from her YouTube because it is an embarrassment. There we go. There we go. All right, so she may have taken that song away from you. But you know what? Let's do this. Send mobile push notifications to followers. I get to do that every 24 hours. Yeah. So we're going to go and send this to all of our followers on Rumble. And we're going to submit it. All right, video upload complete. So, guys, it's right there. You know, she tried to scrub it from the internet, but you guys got it. There we go. I'm providing a service over here. I'm providing a service. Tiffany's, laughing her took us off over there. She thinks it's funny. Yep. So, you guys got that now. You guys got that. We're going to go to a break, and then when we come back, we're going to wrap everything up over here. And let's see here. What do we want to play? How about a little bit of Tal Buckman? We're going to play a little bit of Tal Buckman. Used to love this song back when I was a teenager. This was a great song. And I'll tell you, the thing is, you want to know the thing that really killed it for Tal? You want to know what killed him? Going live on Jay Leno and people realizing he's not that great of a singer. He's gotten a lot better since that time. He's been doing some things with his dad recently, and they've been doing an outstanding job. He has gotten a lot better than he was, when he was in his 20s. But this was a huge radio hit. Love this song, and people have kind of forgotten about it. Here's Tal Buckman with She's So High right here on Morning Mayhem.